So after the Delhi court's order, should Sreesanth be allowed to play cricket? That's what we're debating. Joining me in studio, two senior sports journalists in Rakesh Rao and Pradeep Magazine writer who believe that the live ban should stay. But also joining me live from Trivandrum is P. Ranganathan, former Ranji cricketer and coach. He was the former coach of the Kerala Ranji team. And Vinan Nair, former Ranji player and also currently the South Zone Ranji Trophy committee member. Vinan, I'll start with you. Why do you think that Sreesanth should be allowed to play competitive cricket again?
See, in India, we uphold our judiciary at the highest level. So the court has declared that Sreesanth is found that the Sreesanth is not guilty of any charges that has been levied upon him. So it's up to the BCCI to lift the ban. So, and he should be allowed to return to domestic cricket initially, and if he proves himself, he should be fit enough to play for India again. You say BCCI should, it's up to them. Purely on the basis of the court verdict.
Right, but why do you say that BCCI should lift his ban?
See, the player's career has a limited time. See, they cannot play forever. It's a very short period of time the players can, the career span of a player is. So Sreesanth is already 33. If this keeps on dragging for a few more years, his time will be over and he will never be able to play cricket again. Okay. So it's like justice delayed is justice denied. So
right, Mr. Magazine, I'll come to you. You think it's a valid argument that he's putting forward, saying that his cricket career is limited? Don't now justice delayed will be justice denied.
Look, I can understand from where Kerala Cricket Association or even their state of people are coming from, because the state hasn't had many international cricketers. Sreesanth was one of the few who played for India. But they should also realize that, look, the court has held them not guilty, but it has also given reasons why. And one of the reasons what the judge says is that, unfortunately, there is no law which can hold them guilty for spot fixing. So that is the reason. She herself laments the fact that I wish there was something on which she could have held on. But she has dismissed the larger conspiracy theory which the which the police presented, that it's a case to do with organized crime where Dawood is involved. That's what she has dismissed the case. But I don't think she is anywhere she says that these players were not involved in trying to be in touch with bookies or spot fix. So it's very clear that they were in touch with bookies, and the very fact they were in touch with bookies, they did what they did, is very obvious. So I don't see any reason how the board can lift their ban.
Okay, so I'll go back to Mr. Ranganathan. He also joins us, former Ranji player, former coach of Kerala. Sir, as Mr. Magazine mentions here, and we'll have that graphic up on our screen as well, this is what the court said. They may have absolved them of not having any criminal offence, but the court said that there is a huge vacuum of law in this regard. In the realm of law, this court is helpless to proceed further. That's exactly what the court said. So it's not that they're saying they're not guilty of spot fixing, they're saying they're not guilty of criminal charges. However, that doubt over spot fixing exists. Even in a situation like this, would you want a cricketer to play international or competitive cricket again, despite this observation made by the court? Mr. Ranganathan?
Actually, Sreesanth is already not in cricket for the 2.5 years, and he was there in the Tihar jail for 27 days. He suffered a lot. And we are all keen on back in action, as Vinay told, it's already 33 years and only a few years left in him, So if the Kerala Cricket Association has already approached the BCCI, and I think BCCI working committee can change the decision. The full member working committee, if they are meeting, and they can also change a decision and allowing these cricketers to continue.
Let me ask you,
Mr.
Ranganathan,
the BCCI.
So why is it that the Kerala Cricket Association is the only one that is standing behind the cricketer? We have two other cricketers from Haryana as well as Mumbai. Both of them have said that no, the ban should stay, the suspension should stay.
No, you can't compare other two cricketers with Sreesanth. Sreesanth has done a lot of things, played a lot of cricket for the country, and brought laurels for the country and as well as for Kerala.
Okay.
And
let me take that point forward,
definitely came to limelight.
Let me take that point forward. You said, I'll come to you, Rakesh. Do you agree with that point? Saying that Sreesanth's done a lot, so you can't compare the two things wherever. But if you look at the case in hand, the guilty is of the same level.
See, what they are trying to say is that, see, their sympathy is coming to the fore right now. It's more than anything else. They are not looking at the case as such. They are looking at an individual who is already 32 years old. Okay. They are looking at a person who apparently has done a lot for their state and for the country. Because I don't quite see that person as somebody who is a role model. Maybe in their state, it's in a very limited context, maybe. But I'm looking at it pan-India. I don't think Sreesanth can be named as somebody who is a role model. His apparent behavior, like if you see the BCCI stand, Anurag Thakur has made it very clear that, look, the entire decision was taken on disciplinary grounds, no criminal offence meant. Discipline was something that was held against these three.
Let's say he was a role model.
Yes.
If he was a role model and if he did do a lot in international cricket for
India, even that doesn't qualify him to come back.
Correct.
Just because if you read the judgment, as Mr. Magazine very clearly brought out, nowhere has the judgment ever said that they haven't been said that, you know, that these three have not done anything. It's like that it is lack of evidence, number one, and the prima facie nature of this entire thing, which apparently, according to the cops, there should have been a proper case and stuff, which they have not been able to put forth before the honorable judge. That is it. That is what has happened. But nowhere do they say that these three were not guilty.
Okay, Vinay, would you like to respond? As you said that he may have done a lot for Kerala cricket, maybe for India cricket, and this is how you perceive it. But even then, as Mr. Rao here says, that still it doesn't qualify Sreesanth to return to international cricket. After all, there are charges of misdemeanors against him.
Yeah, coming back to that, see, the Mugdal committee report had given a sealed envelope which contains name of 13 players. None of them which has come out. It's only that the Sreesanth, Ankeet, Chavan and Chandila.
But Vinay, two wrongs don't make a right. Two wrongs don't make a right. You can't say that there are more names, so nothing has been done against them, so don't do anything against them.
It's not that. We at Kerala Cricket Association and the state believes that Sreesanth does not. The court has acquitted him of all the charges. That's why we are urging
like
the
I said, court has absolved him of criminal charges. Court has absolved him of criminal charges. They said that they don't have, that the law doesn't exist for them to charge him for spot fixing. That's a shortcoming in our law.
Okay, but see, what has happened earlier also is like Mohammad Asruddin and Ajay Jadeja was also acquitted of the charges at a later point of the time when they could have no return to international cricket or they could never play cricket again because the age was not on the side. That's it. What if Sreesanth is found not guilty? After a certain period of time, they found out that Sreesanth is not guilty of the charges that has been acquitted. So what happens then?
Okay.
There is a benefit of doubt that it has not been proven beyond a point that Sreesanth has been involved in this.
Okay, I'll come to Mr. Magazine. You saw that 2000 match fixing case also very closely. He has a point there that the cricketers at that time went to court and the court even lifted their ban. However, they were well past their age that they could have played international cricket after that. Why would you want to have another case in Sreesanth?
Look, there is an argument which says that why was the ban lifted? Because after 2000 we again are facing this similar kind of problems, and at the moment just not cricketers but even officials are under immense scrutiny. You have two teams banned, you have an official who was asked to step down as board president. In all this backdrop, it's high time that even the sports administrators, whichever state they belong to, they may feel let down that their own state is like they should not see it parochial. It's high time that they should realize that this game is under great danger, under great threat, and they should all unite together and say whichever player, if he's guilty, he should be punished.
Okay, don't be parochial. You make a very valid point, and the game is above everyone else. Let's punish the cricketers so that it acts as a deterrent for the future. But my question to you now, you say that the court has absolved them of criminal charges. Spot fixing charges still exist and that they had their own inquiry. Now, what is there to suggest that the inquiry done by the BCCI committee proves that they were involved in spot fixing? Because after all, the BCCI committee is the same one that said Gurunath Mayappan is not guilty of anything. How should we believe the BCCI committee?
The BCCI also has gone on whatever evidence the police has given, because there is a tape recorded conversation. They have listened to the tape. I'm sure they must have listened to the tape.
But the question is the same. The question that I ask him, they may have heard all the tapes, but this is the same BCCI that found Gurunath Mayappan not guilty. However, the courts later found that he was.
Nikhil, here tomorrow,
so
if the court steps in,
in terms what of their punishment to
see, what has happened in Aditya Verma's plea, and here there is a difference. There, when Aditya Verma went to the court said the internal, the internal inquiry, which was conducted by 2 retired High Court judges, was not fair, or it had to be revisited.
Correct.
This came from the Honorable High Court.
Right.
Tomorrow, if Sreesanth and 2 other people, if they go to the court against the disciplinary committee decision of the
that
BCCI,
is what they're saying.
That is possible. That is the only way out. They cannot go there and just make a plea. They have to go to the High Court, and they have repeatedly said, we don't have to go against the BCCI, and they will not go against the BCCI.
Okay.
Whereas Aditya Verma went against the decision which was given out by N.
But they may be saying now won't go against the BCCI because they still hope.
As a last resort, they will have to go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only way out.
See, what is happening at the moment is even the board, if you've seen that they are saying they are cracking down on conflict of interest, they have written these huge letters to officials. All this is being done under the threat of the Supreme Court, the Lodha committee. That could be one reason why they have not overturned these bans after what the court did, because they know that the scrutiny is coming from much higher authorities, and they can't afford at this moment to just show themselves as weak and condoning corruption. As such, they have to crack down even on their own people, even their own conflict of interest cricketers. So right now what is happening in Indian cricket, it's a huge churning, and we are all waiting for what Lodha committee report comes and says.
Okay, my final word, we're completely out of time. Mr. Ranganathan, I'll come to you. What do you think will be the future course of action? When I spoke to Vinan in the beginning, he said that, listen, we're still hopeful that the BCCI will overturn that ban. But do you think, as we were talking to Mr. Rao here as well, do you think that hope is only there because the BCCI may not have taken the final decision? After they do, what do you think the Kerala Cricket Association is going to do? Even go against the BCCI? Is that something that you will look into in the future if the BCCI eventually decides not to overturn the ban?
Kerala Cricket Association and full faith on BCCI, and I think BCCI will take a fair call on Sreesanth. That's what we all hope for, And Sreesanth also mentioned the same thing today, that he is hopefully that BCCI will revoke his ban and he can come back to play. That is the only hope we got. So hopefully BCCI will take a very good decision. I think they are able persons to take the decision, like Anurag Thakur had taken as secretary, and he is able person. So we requested Anurag Thakur to look into the matter. Definitely we are also expecting a good news from BCCI.
Okay, so the Kerala Cricket Association definitely has a lot of faith in the BCCI, but the kind of noises that are coming out from the Indian board seems to suggest that the ban will not be overturned, and they are going to use this as a deterrent for future players playing international cricket. Thanks so much for joining us. My guest in Viman Nair, P. Ranganathan, Pradeep Magazine, and Rakesh Roy.